this episode we're going to convert our React app into a Next.js app, which has all very handy features for server-side rendering and all that good SEO stuff. So in the last episode, I started building with the Create React app and put into different components. Then I realized that did not server-side render very well. So if we're looking here, we have it running, and in the terminal we just curled the local host, and we just got a head and a body and then a script. We got nothing, so we can't use this. We have to have something that is working really well as server-side rendered, and that's why we're going to use something that is called Next.js. Many people in the comments suggested Next.js, so that seems to be the greatest option. So I just dove into it, and now let's convert it. Let's just move it to, let's move online business to online business old. And we recreate online business. And here in online business, just npm install --save next react and react DOM, I think. Let's just check out here. Next react DOM. Okay, install it. Okay, we're done. We have things here. We have a package lock. Let's just create a package.json and open that. Let's copy these things like that. And then we have in Next.js, there is this structure that you have a special directory called pages. And if you put a JavaScript file in pages like index.js, it will sort of magically work. Everything within pages will be its own routes. So let's just do the default example thing here. That if we export the default like that, we will see a page if we run this. No. Terminal. So if we run, did we call it dev? Yeah, we run dev, localhost 3000, refresh this. Here we got the page. And if we were to create another page, new file, other page. Welcome to the other page. If we just say that, then we can browse here to the other page. Welcome to the other page. So it's a bit of magic. It has the routes. And what is really cool is, of course, that it has other handy things like links. So here, let's just rewrite this into a const index, export index equals these things. So here everything is like in React, so we can just add a class name, and we have to call it class name because of the same things as with React, that you can't have class because this is actually JavaScript and class is already a special keyword in JavaScript, so we have to call it class name. And then we can give it a name, like, I don't know, root. And if we save here, go back to here, see that it got the class root. Magic. And now if we want to have a link, we'll have to Next.js has a special link feature that will just fix everything automatically. So like this is rendered on the client and it's rendered on the server. But by using their own link component, it will just take care of things. So if I'm on the client and I want to follow a link, it will just do that only on the client, sort of, and it will save the server-side things for the server-side parts. So let's create one of those links. So let's just import link from next link. By doing that, we get the link component. So we can add here a link, href to other. Is that the way we do it? No, to /other. To /other. And then we close the link, and everything within here is what's clickable. It will handle the onClick event. And so we could put an image here, but then it wouldn't pass on the href, because href is only passed on to a tag. So we just add an a tag here and go to the other page. So now when we click here, we end up in the other page. It's magical. It's really neat. And if we check, what does it look like? Inspect element. Inspect the element. Everything looks ordinary. Really cool. These are the basics of Next.js. What we can do now is we can start to style things up a bit. And the way that works in Next.js is that you use style. So we just add like a style tag, and we have to call it JSX. And within the style tag, we have to put, we can put things there, but to make it sweeter and more practical, we put a template literal there, which has support for line breaks and everything. So by adding a template literal, like the things we've done with strings, and then just put CSS there, we can do everything. So we can do here like put all links should have a color yellow, like that. Oh, I did it the wrong way. We do the curly brackets to show that it's a JavaScript thing within these HTML tags, and within them we put the template literal. Oh, my bad. Like that. And we get, let's just do the background yellow. So in that way we can put the A tag there. And that is pretty cool. But what we can't do is we can't change things outside these components. So this is a component, and we can't change things outside that. So if we were to add, we want to change the body of the HTML body to something like background gray. This shouldn't work. Nothing happens. Why is that? That is because everything within this style attribute is only applied to this component. So that is actually super sweet, because the same way we did in the React course when we did the prototype, there we inline style things directly with JavaScript objects and within the components. But here we get the same like CSS that we're used to. We write CSS in the same way that we're used to, but it only gets applied into the component. And we can see that here, that when we inspect here, we see that the class name is really, really specific. So it is not dot root and then all the A's within root. It's just this very, 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 very specific class that gets the background yellow. But if we wanted to have things globally, we can remove the body there. We can add another style tag, JSX, but we can have a global style tag. And we put that within the curly ones, like that. And these CSS things get applied to the global document. So now we got the gray background. So we should only use these when we have to add things that are applied globally, but we can use this ordinary style when we want to have things only in the component. And that is super, super sweet. So I really loved React when we learned that in the React prototyping series, but here Next.js takes React a step further. So it's like it's sort of very much like building your apps, your websites like you did in the old days. You added an HTML file and then it sort of got its route. It got the route and you had the file here and everything you changed here, like yay, the other page, everything you changed there, you saw that there. But it also has all these React things, like it's super, super neat, and you can add like, you can add things here. I don't know, some kind of let some object be something and then return it. You can do all the stuff. And what's also neat is, of course, that we now it takes care of server-side rendering. We don't even have to specify a package or anything. So if we just go to the terminal, So if we go to the terminal and curl it, we get the HTML here. Welcome to Next.js. It has an A tag. It has its href, so it can be followed by Google and other search robots. So it will just be indexed like any other, and it has all the CSS here. So it's magical. It just works now, and you don't have to think about anything. So it takes all the best things from React and all the best things from just old, like, I don't know, PHP websites and what you're used to, and put it together, and we have this amazing thing. So now let's try to rebuild my awful web design without styles into Next.js. So we have here that hero is not defined, one of our first components from the old site, from the React site. And we're going to use that. We're going to build a component. So the way we do that is that we create a new directory called something like components. Oops. A new directory called components. And within those components, let's add something like the hero component. Hero, here. And what did we want to have in the hero component? The hero component was just nothing really important. So let's just do that. So we need here to, let's just create it. Export default. So export default export something here. And we can do that because if we just have one single tag here, we can do this way. Otherwise, if we were to have several tags like that, it wouldn't work. But that was the same with React. We had to have just one HTML element that was returned. So here we have everything. It's just everything is the same. And if we save that, nothing will happen because it says hero is not defined because we have to import it. So import hero from, we're here in pages. We have to walk up one step and then into components and fetch hero. So it's components and then hero.js. And now it says agencies is not defined. So if we were to remove these, it should be working. Yes, it does. Magic. So let's just add the other components. So here we have it. We have everything. Yeah, but it seems pretty strange that, so say that we were to have like one subpage here with information. And we only found this information here. So we want to have subpages for each shop, each agency. Then we would have to re-add the header. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add like just a layout that we will add to every sub page, and we want to put everything here from the header into the layout. So I want to make something that has a title. I want the title to be unique for each page. So I want the title for each page, and then I want some nav. So let's just style this, that we say that everything within header has a background gray, just to make things simple. And it has a border bottom. We'll do like this instead. That's sweeter. So we have the H1, and then it will have some kind of menu. We don't have the items yet. And something that is dividing. So this thing above the dash, but actually I don't know yet how that works. So we'll just start with creating a layout and see how that works. So we will wrap everything on this page within a layout tag. And we will remove that div. And we will remove the JSX. So within here, we just want to have the actual content that is unique for this page. But we would also have to import that layout component. So let's create that, but also clean this up. So let's create that. Yeah, we don't have that yet. Within the components, create the layout.js. Const layout. I will add the header. And then we want to add the children of the thing. So here we want to have the actual content, and that is the children. So we have to pass a props object here, and then use the brackets, the curly thingies, to say that now we're in JavaScript mode, and here we will just output props.children. And then we will have to export default the layout. So there we go. Now it's actually just these that are the contents, and they are wrapped within the layout tag, and it's actually the layout tag that has the brand right now. You can go back here to the index, and everything is laid out, but we would like to have some kind of styling, and I think it's sensible to add the styling here. So style JSX, JavaScript and template literals, close the style tag, and here we can put whatever. So here for the H1, let's do that instead. Just do the H1 that has the border bottom 1 pixel solid gray, like that. But the same way works here, that we can't now, this is just adding to the layout for things within this component. But the CSS is not applied to the children that are here. They are treated separately. So if we were to try to change something with this list, that wouldn't work. So if we were to do the UL here, a background green, nothing happens. Which is really, really, really sweet, because in that way, if we here in the header had, we say we have a list here with list items, hello, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, I don't know, German, something like that. That gets the green background. So we can be very, very, very general with the CSS here. We don't have to specify things, because Next.js will do that specification for us. So if we inspect here, of course, it will have a rendered class name. So what I like with this is that I don't have to do these nested and like UL, LI with the class 1 with class 2 and not children of blah blah blah. We don't have to do that. We can just ensure that if we have a component, we add a style tag, and there we just write. We can be really lazy and everything will just work. So I write UL here, but it's only applied to the ULs within my component. And I love that. Some people perhaps do not love that. And if you want to outsource CSS to a designer, you can, of course, do that. And we'll see that in future episodes. But here, this is what I love with Next.js, that it makes everything, it takes advantage of the React mindset of reusing things. Of just adding things, tying it to the component, but you write the CSS like any other. And if you want to see how to do this, so this is actually syntax highlighted. So to get these highlights in Visual Studio Code, you just do Command P, ext install JSX styled. yeah, VS Code style JSX and just install it. Very, very, very handy. So that was it. In the next episode, we will probably try to represent the agencies in some kind of database structure, and then actually create an Express backend server that can fetch these from the database. But that is in the next episode. So that was it. I will commit the code and I will share the GitHub for that one, so you can recreate this by yourself. But check out Next.js. They have a great Learn Next.js tutorial. I will put the links in the description. I will go on a July vacation and be back in August. And until that time, I will post a few discussions me and MPJ had about random topics. And after summer, I hopefully have more time to put emphasis on this project, because this is the most fun project and I've had a little bit too much other work. So until then, I'll see you in the discussions, and write in the comments what you think. And if you have other suggestions of methods to use or things to do, write that in the comments. I really, really appreciate it. Next.js was thank you community for giving that. And until that time, have a great summer. I will try to stay outdoors. I'm going to our summer cottage and I'm sort of offline. We're getting broadband there actually, but I try to stay offline as much as possible to just, I don't know, refresh myself and just be out of the loop, not reading Hacker News and not reading other media, just reading books, swimming in the ocean and all that stuff. So have a great summer, everyone. Thank you for sticking around here, and we'll see you in August. Have a great summer. Ciao!